Met fans, Jacobdegrom is no longer a New York Metropolitan, but is it really the end of the world? Trust me, I'm not downplaying the loss of Jacobdegrom, but we still have one of the greatest pitchers of all time at the top of our rotation, future Hall of Famer Max Scherzer. And now we have an additional $40 million in AAV to upgrade a 101 win team. So what should the Mets do? Right now, Billy Epler needs to be on the phone with Brandon Nimmo's team and lock him down. The list of outfielders available in the free agent market is really thin, and behind Aaron Judge is our boy Brandon Nimmo. We all know what Brandon Nimmo could bring to the plate. He's the perfect leadoff guy, he's a great defender, and he's been a New York Met his whole professional life. We need to do whatever we can to blow him away and ensure he's a New York Met for the next 4 or 5, maybe even 6 years. Right now it's being reported that the Blue Jays have already offered Brandon Nimmo a 5-year, $110 million deal, but they're not the only team in on him. Nimmo's being linked to the Yankees, the Rays, the Giants, and obviously the New York Metropolitans. And truthfully, it is a serious possibility that Brandon Nimmo is not a Met next year. And I think the longer it takes for him to sign means the chances of him coming back are going down the drain. So right now is the Mets' opportunity to blow him away and sign Brandon Nimmo to that big contract that he deserves. Obviously, we're not going to hand him a blank check, but I think a 5-year, $120 million deal with an option for a 6-year should get it done. And Met fans, obviously our biggest hole right now is our starting rotation, but there's still great players that we can go out and get right now. And the list of available free agent starters are headlined by the 9-time All-Star, 2-time World Series champion, reigning AL Cy Young, and former MVP Justin Verlander. Last year, Justin Verlander posted a 1.75 ERA, 0.828 WHIP in 175 innings while striking out 185 batters. Without a doubt, Verlander is the best available starting pitcher, but he's also turning 40 this February and missed all of 2021 from rehabbing from Tommy John. So you have to ask yourself, how much does he really have left in the tank? Yes, he has the greatest upside of all the available starting pitchers, and he might go down as one of the greatest pitchers of all time, but naturally you have to be a little concerned about his health and age. And right now it's being reported that Verlander is asking something in the ballpark of a 3-year, $130 million deal, which is a 43.3 annual average. And the Mets were willing to give Jacobdegrom a 3-year, $120 million deal, so this isn't far off. But is this how you want to spend that money? Personally, I think there are other options such as Carlos Rodon. Personally, I'm all in on Carlos Rodon as he's been in the Cy Young conversation these last 2 seasons. In 2022, Carlos Rodon pitched in 178 innings, posting a 2.88 ERA, a 1.028 WHIP, and he also led the league in strikeouts per 9 with 12 strikeouts per 9 innings and a 2.25 FIP, which is fielding independent pitching. So you can't deny Carlos Rodon is an absolute stud. And he's only 29, turning 30 next week. Is he Jacobdegrom or Justin Verlander? 100% no, but not too many guys are. But thankfully, Max Scherzer is in that class. And right now, it's being reported that Rodon's asking for a 5-year, $120 million deal, which has an annual average of $24 million, meaning you still have plenty of money to go get another starting pitcher or maybe even 2. So assuming the Mets lock down Rodon with a $24 million AAV, our attention has to be on re-signing Chris Bassitt and going all in on Kodai Senga. I know Chris Bassitt didn't have the best of seasons last year, but he's still a great middle-of-the-rotation guy, and we'll be able to retain him without breaking the bank. And Kodai Senga has electric stuff, and apparently his asking price isn't too high. So if Uncle Stevie's all in on winning right now, I think you need to bring in these 3 guys. But Met fans, there's also a possibility we can get Shohei Otani instead. But that means waiting out this offseason. But that means not making a big splash this offseason. Shohei Otani is set to become a free agent at the end of next season. While it sounds like the Angels will not be trading Shohei Otani before next season, in a year from now he'll be a free agent, meaning the Mets can go all in on the Japanese superstar. How much money will we have to give him next offseason? Truthfully, I am not sure, but I can't imagine it being too much more than what the Rangers gave Jacobdegrom. And personally, I'd rather rather have Shohei Otani over Jacobdegrom. We haven't seen a talent like Shohei Otani in our lifetime, and we probably will never see one again. Not only is he a top end of the rotation guy, he's the power bat we desperately need, and truthfully, I believe he's the missing link for our team. Will he be on our team in 2023? No, he will not. Personally, I have no problem sitting out this year while still being competitive with other guys, and then going all in on Shohei Otani next offseason. After all, Mets fans, we won 101 games pretty much without Jacobdegrom, so I think spending less money other places could definitely be just as beneficial right now. Lastly, Met fans, if we push aside the starting pitching issues, we still have bullpen holes and we need a DH. Similar to the outfield market, the relieving market is just as thin, which is exactly why the Mets had to be aggressive and re-sign Edwin Diaz to that crazy deal. Right now, we don't have a setup, we don't have a 7th inning guy. The Mets have a lot of holes, which is why the Mets need to be aggressive right now in the reliever market and lock up 1 or 2 big name guys. And as for our DH, truthfully, I'm not in love with any available free agent other than obviously Aaron Judge, who is just a pipe dream. So I can definitely see the Mets going out and making a trade for both a bat and a starting pitcher, similar to the Lindor-Cookie Carrasco trade. Are the Mets close to doing anything like that right now? Who knows? If you remember with the Francisco Lindor trade, that came out of absolutely nowhere. So I'm confident the Mets are on the phone right now, making calls, doing whatever they can, and in any moment we're gonna get that random notification saying the Mets just acquired a superstar. Anyway, Met fans, that is it. I still can't believe Jacobdegrom will not be a New York Met ever again. At his peak, he was the greatest pitcher I'll probably ever see. But with all the health concerns, I don't blame the Mets for not going a 5th or even a 6th year like the Rangers did. And Met fans, it's not the end of the world. We have a hungry owner willing to do whatever it takes to win. I still have faith in the rest of our front office. And this is not your father's Mets. Let's go, Mets, baby. Woo!